Hey, Remodelers, welcome to day 5 of the 30-day AI prompt challenge for Remodelers. Man, we have a good one today. So I want to give you a little background and understand that all of us come into this game with different skill sets, different experiences, right? Some of us have worked with family members and we've been in the trades for years, working on job sites. Some of us have not. Some have had other experience. For me, I have years of experience in doing sales. I got started as a teenager selling Christmas trees and shrubs at a nursery and garden center and moved through many different things for many years. I've done thousands of sales presentations. In fact, it's a big struggle for me. I don't have the ideal personality by nature. I'm not the most person that likes to be outgoing, go out himself and make friends and able to learn, then anyone can do it, especially you guys. So what you get to benefit from is, again, years of I had to come up with some frameworks so that I can handle objections. In the remodeling world, in fact, all of it's best. And over time, I started learning that a lot of homeowners will say certain things. I didn't build up enough trust with them to where they felt comfortable enough sharing what was really going on. And if you take what they say at face value and you recognize that you hadn't built up trust, then you are not helping yourself at all. So, with that being said, let's jump right in. Again, man, this is day 5. If you only watch one day of this entire 30-day challenge, for right now, I would say today is the day. So, don't miss this one. All right, let me share my screen. I'm in a different location today. I'm in another workshop. Let's see, we want to show this screen over here. All right, screen 1. There it is. Boom. We are got it. All right. So here we are. We're back. It's the 30-day AI prompt challenge for modelers, where each day I share with you one new prompt that you should use in your remodeling business to help you have success. Look, this is primarily set up for anyone who no longer wants to be a self-employed person, right? Many of us get into the trade and we think, hey, I started my own business. And the reality is, no, you're self employed, right? Because if you don't go to work every day, there's no money being made. A business runs with multiple people playing in the game so that the owner typically can sit back and orchestrate it and take the profits, right? And share in the success, but doesn't have to do everything. Think of like a restaurant, right? They hire kitchen staff, they have waiters, waitresses, cooks, chefs, right? Hostesses. And often the owners just run around orchestrating. And in remodeling, it's got to be the same way. You have to get off the tools, stop being on job sites every day, and step back and put people in place. Get that lead carpenter, get a helper, get the project manager, find the great salesman, have an amazing office admin, build the team, get the subs, grow more helpers, more lead carpenters, more project managers, more salespeople, and more subs. That's the game in remodeling. All right. So, with that being said, yesterday I introduced my Spark method to you. And if you haven't seen that or you're not aware of it, go back and watch that video. Again, you can get my book about how remodelers can get paid to estimate, where I introduce the Spark method. Again, that's available for free. You just got to go to remodelingacademy.com. All right, so here we are, and today is day 5, and man, it goes. I enjoy this. Again, understand this. For years, I was in sales and I was not that good at sales. I struggled. What only thing that made me successful in the beginning and was is because I worked really hard. I would outwork people. I wasn't more talented. In fact, I was less talented. I had less social skills and tricks, communicating. I wasn't the best at any of that. And I would be frustrated because I would see friends of mine that were lazy coworkers that did half of the effort and would sell more than I would, and they had just a better person. They grew up for whatever reason, they got better interpersonal skills. I had to go and learn a lot of these interpersonal type skills, communication skills, listening skills. And what I was able to benefit from because I struggled, I started studying human behavior a lot and understanding personality traits and why people do what they do, and understand that people don't always do what they think they're doing it because they say one thing, but in reality, they're operating off of something else. So when you start learning this, you can start picking up different personality styles and traits. And what I call them is archetypes. You start understanding that different people operate under a different set of rules and values, and that what motivates them is different from someone else. And there's about 12 different archetypes that I have come to assess and put into my program. Some people would say there's nine, some people would say there was 16, but over all, I have found 12. And what I mean by that is different people get motivated by different things. And you being an effective remodeling salesperson, the quicker that you can understand the person that you're talking to and what it is that motivates them and how they operate, how they think, how they make decisions, understand that not everyone does it the same way. Some people are more geared towards this way, and some people are more geared towards that way. And I break all of that down in some of my higher level courses because, quite frankly, when you're first starting out, you just have to learn basic sales skills. And then as you go along, you can understand and unpack and break down more and more detail. And then you're ready for more information because you're seeing things at another level. It's kind of like playing a sport like baseball. Some guys just have to start in T-ball, right? And then they can play maybe a little interleague. And then maybe they get on like a beltway travel team. Then they're ready for some high school ball. Maybe then they go to play a little JUCO or college. And then they can get into like some sort of a minor system, a triple A, double A. Okay. Same with sales, base level and build an initial foundation. And when you get that down, then you're ready for more training to get to the next level and then the next level and the next level. So today we are going to go through a really good process for understanding and helping to overcome objections. So here's why it matters, right? Biggest thing you have to do is understand that even after a great pitch, clients with concerns like, man, it's too expensive, or hey, we need to think about it, right? And how you respond can make or break the deal. So we have something we developed here. I put together. It's called the Remodelers Red Book, and it's an approach to teaches you how to handle objections. Right now, I have over 35 remodeling specific objections that I've heard over the years, put them all together, and then I break down each objection in that book and how you can overcome it. So that, this is a way that you approach because you are prepared with professional responses instead of fear and or defensiveness. That's where most remodelers go wrong. And believe me, I did it myself. And if you're ever out and about, you will see how often this happens. It is crazy. All right, this is great stuff. I love teaching this stuff. The I have to stop for a minute and just share with you. When I started learning these techniques and started putting them into my repertoire of sales, it was night and day. Like all of a sudden, the success that I would have, it was as if I was just taking candy from a baby. Here you go. Let's get that sale. Oh, here you go. Let's get that sale. And understand what drives them, what their motives are, what their fears, and then how to assist and help. All right. So when you get to that, the world changes. And now you want as many leads as you can get, and because you have found an effective way to sell and transition prospects into customers. All right. So look, the key in all of this, just remember, you always have to remember that you want to make the prospect, the client, feel heard. That is the most important thing when you communicate with another human being is that they get the impression that you actually heard them, right? You get what they're saying. So you address the concerns directly, you reinforce the value you deliver. Now, remember, at the end of the day, clients hire a remodeler that they trust. Homeowners hire people that they feel confident in that will get the job done. This is why so many large companies can go out and charge three times more than what the average new guy who's just starting can for the same project. And the new guy ends up hearing all the time that he's too expensive when he's like a third or half less than the expensive company that ends up getting the job most of the times. And it's not because the quality of work is better, it's because the trust that the client has with the big company is higher. So they're willing to invest more. People don't want cheap stuff all the time. Most people want quality. Now, yes, there's some people out there that are cheapskates, and that you, if you paid attention in day one, we've already taught you how to filter them out, weed the lead process, right? So at this point in our sales process, you're dealing with ideal clients. All right, so let's keep going here. Look, if you fumble or evade the objections, this is when the client is probably going to end up going with a competitor who confidently addresses those exact same worries. Remember, homeowners could go to three different remodelers and they'll get three different responses. And the homeowner that best helps alleviate the job. And it's not, again, it's not always about price. So aim to be direct. You be emotionally intelligent and reassuring in your replies. Show empathy. I understand that your budget is a big concern, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And then help show how you can provide the solution of clarification, right? And this is what ultimately helps you land the deal. All right, so let's break it down. Let's look at this prompt specific. So here we are. So the information you're going to put into the prompt in your chosen AI machine, again, whether it's Bard, Grok, Claude, even ChatGPT, you'll say this. Let's practice objection handling for common remodeling sales objections, asking the chat agent to act as a skeptical homeowner at the end of the day of my proposal and present me with three tough objections, right? For example, maybe your price is higher than others. Can you knock 10% off? Or I'm not ready to commit yet. Now, if you consistently get some different objections, put those in there so you will be able to generate the prompt that helps you overcome the objection that you hear the most. Understand this as well. This is a little sidebar. If you hear a similar objection from clients over and over again, if you've done a good job of weeding out the client, then the problem is your presentation and your communication skills. There is something that you're just not properly addressing with prospects that's bringing this objection. Because guarantee, if when you learn a professional, polished sales presentation, objections before the homeowner even brings them up because you already often will know what the potential objections are. So you discuss them ahead of time. And that way you eliminate them so that the next most logical step is just for them to move on with the sale. I know this sounds foreign to a lot of you guys, and you're probably like, there's no way that works. And I'm here to tell you it most certainly does. All right, so let's get back to this. Now, you want the prompt to provide a model answer, right, that you can use that validates the client's concern and offers a confident, trust building response. The answer should reflect expertise, value, and reassurance, like something from the Remodeler's Red Book. You may not have, your ChatGPT might not have all of that information on, unless you purchase or get the Remodeler's Red Book for us. And then what you can do is you can actually take the Red Book and upload it into your chat agent so it has that as a resource. That's probably the way to go. All right. So the response should follow the Remodeling Academy sales frameworks and trainings. It should use ARI, which we developed. It's called the Applied Relational Intelligence. So it's going to follow the sales protocol. We first thank the prospect for sharing their concern. The goal is to make them feel good about sharing what could be hard to say face to face. Understand that many prospects have met with opposition or been made to feel wrong when voicing objections in the past, especially in remodeling and home service sales situations. So we want to diffuse any possible tension and encourage open sharing. We are not going to be at all combative and we never are aggressive. We are actually relaxed and happy and encouraging and welcoming and thankful that they are bringing up these objections. And that mindset shift settles the room and it settles the tension and helps the prospect relax and be like, okay, I'm not crazy for thinking this. No, absolutely you're not. That's a great question. I get asked that a lot. In fact, many other people felt the same way. Da, 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 da. All right. So what you're going to do next is you're going to repeat back what you heard using the prospect's exact words, right? For example, Mr. and Ms. Smith, did I hear you correctly that you said this and that? And then Pause and see if they nod yes or if they shake their head. You want to make sure that you heard them correctly. And the way you do that is by repeating, let the client process, respond. Now, just as important as what you say, in fact, probably even more important, is the way that you say it. You have to go into these sales meetings very relaxed and calm and confident and not at all agitated or distraught or frustrated by the fact that you've heard this similar response 3,000 times, right? And you're like, this is crazy. No, you act as if that's perfectly fine. I would expect you to feel that way. I'm glad that you feel that way. Encourage it, right? So you say, this is no big deal, no matter what they say. Because again, whatever they say isn't really about you, it's about them, it's what they feel. See the difference? You don't have to wear any of it, you just let it go. So you want to have make sure you have curiosity and that you're not defensive, and you want to make sure you ask for clarification. So, oh, please tell me more. What do you mean when you say such and such? Would you help me understand that better? Right? So clients often share surface level objection because they aren't yet comfortable enough to reveal the real reason. So all right, remember this, the first one or two objections that a client will often say to you are really often just smoke screens because they're rehearsed defenses that they've used for years in sales situations. So don't take the bait, always follow the protocol. All right, the objection protocol summary. So repeat it back to confirm that you heard them correctly, ask for clarity, right? What exactly do you mean by that? Can you tell me more about that? Now you can reassure them by saying something like this. Others have felt the same way at first, but once they saw how it was a sport, they realized that this was the right path. Okay, final insight. This exercise is going to surprise you guys. The more you use this, the more you'll uncover what your client's real concern was, not what you thought it was. At the root, it's almost always tied back to fear and lack of trust, not just your price. So, disclaimer, if this process doesn't seem to be working for you when you're meeting with clients, if you feel a lot of pushback, tension, or irritation, that's your sign that you did not build trust or rapport earlier in your sales process, right? At that point, you're going to have to pause. You have to back up a bit. You're going to have to repair the relationship dynamic. Now, this is stuff that gets covered in one of our higher level advanced sales training inside of the academy. So I'm not going to get a whole lot into that right now, but understand that if you're doing this and you're still getting fresh objections and the customer's irritated with you and like, I've already talked about that, right? Then you haven't built trust with them because they're not willing to share with you and they're just done with you. All right. And that's because a lot of us unaware, right? It takes a self-aware salesperson to understand where the client is and read the nonverbal cues, right? How much do you understand about human behavior? What if the client is standing there with their arms crossed, right? Or what if they keep looking away from you, right? Or they're not, if they're leaning back in their chair, they're sliding away, right? These are all nonverbal cues that are letting you know, damn, I am not connecting with this person. There's something I'm doing. They're feeling some tension. They're feeling something that's not bringing them in and closer. You want clients leaning in towards you, listening intently, trying to figure out, like, how can we get this done? Let's hurry up, right? How do we move the process forward? If they're backpedaling the whole time, then you have not built proper rapport. So understand that that is a key element. All right. So now we have our mind prompt, and what I've done, again, let me just show you how this works. We take and we put it right into our preferred AI machine. So I'm using chat. Here you go. So we're going to practice objection handling, common remodeling sales objections, right? So again, our objections are your price is higher, 10%, da, 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 da. So here, we're going to put the goal is to make them feel good. We've gone through all this. Here's my entire prompt, right? Repeat it back. Thank you. It's all here. Enter. And then boom, it's going to spit it out. All right, so here we go. Let's test this. We're going to run through the three most common. Objection number one, and your price is higher than the other bids. We got your honesty. So just to be sure I heard you right, you're saying our price is coming You wait and see what they say back. And they'll probably go, yeah, like we got three other estimates, and two of the guys are what stood out to you in the other quotes, right? What it really is. And then you can normalize it and say, honestly, you're not alone. A lot of our clients shared that same concern at first. And again, you're saying it with you're relaxed, you're smiling, you're happy, and then you reframe it. You say, now, interestingly, what they found out was lower quotes often came with missing details, change orders, delays, poor communication. We follow a proven process that protects your investment. See, you can move and transition to something where you can reframe the situation. You want to make sure you're getting the clarity. Let's look at a second common objection. Hey, man, we just Mr. Miss Smith, totally respect that. And I appreciate you saying it instead of ghosting me like so many other people do. So, if I've heard you right, what you're saying, you want a little more time before moving forward. Again, let them answer. You might be surprised by what they really say. They may shift a little. They might just say, yes, we just need more time. To what you will then say, what part you're still thinking through. And then you can pause and say, is it the timeline, the process? And often, if they know what it is, they're going to shut you down and you won't even have to keep talking. But then you say, or just the size of the decision overall. Again, you just come with a sense of curiosity. It's almost like child, like you're being like, you, and here's the thing, you may know completely what the objection is and what they're really talking about. You don't want to act like that. You want them to verbalize it and put it out there. Let them process it through and say it to you, right? And then when you hear their response, you can let them know that makes sense. Remodeling is a big decision. And most of our clients said something similar at this point, right? And they're going to sit back and they're going to relax and they're going to be nodding with you, right? And as they do that, then you can move to the reframe where you say, and what they found helpful was moving into our like design consultation phase, right? It's a lower risk next step. It gives you the chance to find here is the design agreement. We could get started right now. It's going to, and you just present it to them, right? All right. Good stuff. I'm telling you. Objection number three, and then we're going to wrap up. We got to get going. It's like 23 minutes here. This is a good one. Can you knock 10% off the price? Man, I appreciate Mr. and Miss Smith. I appreciate you being direct about that. Budget's always something worth talking through. So just to confirm, you're asking if we can lower the total by about 10%, right? And just the fact that you've asked it back to them makes them really think about what they're doing. And quite many times I'll have a customer say, well, yeah, you know what? I don't know. I was just thinking, like, could you just maybe we take a couple of dollars off? And you can say, can I ask, is that number based on something specific or just trying to make the price feel a little more comfortable? And see what they say, right? And they're like, well, we were just sometimes people say, well, we were just hoping to spend like 25,000, right? And not like maybe 2750 or whatever it is. Okay, they'll be close. So you can play absolutely understandable. Man, most of our clients want to make sure they are getting real value as well. Instead of cutting corners, which we avoid, what we've done for others in your spot is this: we explore phasing part of the work or adjusting some of the finishes so that you get what matters most within your budget without sacrificing the long term quality or impact. A- And you can just see what they say. And if they ask for clarification, you can say, yes, we can adjust the price. Let's look at what we can take out of the scope of work. If you need the price to come down by $5,000, well, let's just see final painting. We could probably pull that out, right? Or maybe we go with a different quality cabinet or vanity, or maybe some of the lighting fixtures have to be adjusted. Hey, Mr. Smith, that big uh, fan that you wanted in that room, chandelier you wanted over there. You know what? We can do the whole rest of the remodel and we'll just hold off on buying those. You can purchase those down the road. So you come up with other options and you problem solve together. Their problem of price is their problem, not your problem. You're helping them understand how you can help them get the price that they want by not discounting is bringing the price down, which they've asked for. So you're helping them out. Perfect. So final reminder, look, our which is applied relational intelligence, right, isn't about winning an argument. It's about removing fear and showing. Remember, you're not trying to like close right there on the spot. You're helping the customer feel confident enough so that they say yes, that they want to move forward. So always be warm, curious, and emotionally calm, right? Your tonality is 90% of the message that you deliver. Have you ever heard the saying, you can say just about anything as long as you say it with a smile and you're laughing? You really can. Uh, and look, if they push back hard, it's likely that they don't see you yet. So you have to regroup, pause, go back, and figure out how you can build more of a connection with the client. A confident remodeler guiding smarter. All right, guys. So 5 more days to go. We look forward to seeing you again. You want to like channel so that you will be notified when we're going live in the future so that you can catch every one of these AI prompts that you're going to want to put into your remodeling repertoire business. And also, if you haven't yet, group remodelers helping remodelers, where you will learn more of this kind of content weekly and daily, right? And these are the things that are needle movers for your business. So again, and we were able to get all this done within a half hour. Let's see if I can get over here and get this off screen. So again, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll be back. And again, come on over to the Remodeling Academy's YouTube channel, like, subscribe, be notified, get live so that you can attend and be notified every time we do one of these workshops. And look, if you have a question about a specific AI prompt that you want answered, man, message us, put a comment on the video. You can reach out to us directly, send a message to Reese at the remodelingacademy.com, and we will get back to you and we will address it in one of the videos. All right. So have an awesome night.